if you dream too big for most people to understand, then you're likely to not say too much about it because you already know what people are going to say. So if you read through Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos' biographies, you'll understand that way before they decided to explore space, they already had this dream of accomplishing this task, but they were not speaking about it because everyone would just think they're crazy. Even before Jeff Bezos scaled Amazon, he just talked to a guy. I don't remember if it was his boss at the time or if it was someone close to him. And on the start of Amazon, or even before the start, he said it would make Amazon one of the biggest companies in the world. And the person laughed at him. I mean, if that's what everyone is going to do as reaction, what's the point of you telling something that you believe and no one can see it? No one think it's possible. So a lot of times you have people that could be pretty much everywhere and they may have big dreams, but if they spoke about it, people would probably just think they're crazy. So that's why they choose to not speak much, because you already know the feedback that you're going to get. You know, when you have big dreams and aspirations that are just too big for most people to understand, you don't really want feedback anymore because you realize what it takes you to get to the level that you want. It's not what most people can imagine to achieve. And the truth is, most people don't achieve that because they don't want to as well. So it's also about what you want. How many people in the world is effectively trying to go to Mars? There's not a lot of people thinking that's possible. But there's one person at least that is making it viable over time, is finding a way to get there. In fact, I would say there's already a way to go there. The problem now for them is to establish the needs that are necessary for a life to be maintained on that place outside the spaceship. But today they already are able to move there and come back safely. At least the trip itself was already made. I don't know if they got already people there, but I know they got a lot of robots already. So it's a matter of time, but things will get done. And with the pace at which we're improving technology, it will be really fast. There's something interesting about artificial intelligence that I think it also explains this dynamic between people in general. So you have two big opinions that are way different around artificial intelligence. You have the most wise people in the world, the ones that are effectively developing this technology and getting to understand its own potential, they do know that there's a way for AI to achieve a multiplier of the human capacities, which means it can scale. Apparently, it's virtually able to scale infinitely on IQ. So, if there's some years to go for it to be like 5 times as smart as we are, then a couple more years could be 1,000 times, because it's scaling on a way that we cannot understand. So the pace will increase. It's not a straight line, it's an S curve that accelerates with time to the upside. And those things are very hard for most people to be able to understand. So you have a lot of people that think that's a joke. How many people would be thinking it's a joke to make planes years ago, make rockets, fly, land on a space and come back safety, cars way before they happen? How many people thought that was possible? How many people could see the telephones we have today, the internet, all this technology before it happened? Who could actually understand that with time we would be living on this reality in which pretty much we're surrounded around technology, and the way we interact with it, we already can argue in part we are robots in a way that we're just interacting with a lot of technology pieces. We're like biorobots. We rely on technology for so many things that is part of our life. In fact, if technology just disappeared from today to tomorrow, on developed countries at least, but in most parts of the world in which you have enough technology, your life, the way it is today, it's not viable. You would have to live in a totally different way. You would be forced to move off the cities probably to find food. I mean, if the supermarkets stopped to operate, there wouldn't be light, there wouldn't be transports with the food. You'll have to go out to hunt for food. I mean, it's a reality that, today things are way different than what they were a lot of time ago. So I would say the best thing you can have in terms of mindset is to understand we cannot predict the future. We cannot even imagine how the future can be in 100 years, especially with technology that is developing and is just representing itself as a multiplier of our own capacities. We won't understand that. It's not possible. The same way you have a person with less capacities cannot understand a person with higher capacities than normal, it's not possible as well. They can't understand. Just goes beyond what they can imagine. So it's the same for us. Even the smartest people in the world, won't be able to understand what AI can achieve. Things were taking time in years to achieve. If you get a hundred, 1,000x multiplier on what you can do, that thing can probably get things it will take years, maybe a lifetime to accomplish. They can get it in minutes, hours, days. They can literally come with that potential and essentially solve a lot of things that we have today that we think they're good because it represents our reality. And that thing can just understand it's totally trash. There's way better ways to do the things. Because remember, today what you think is good, it was unimaginable for like 5 generations to the past. It was like an unachievable dream. And today is our reality. Today we don't really stop and say, wow, a television. Look at that. But imagine a person from 5 generations ago, or 6 or 7, whatever. Imagine that person embracing something that didn't ever exist on its time frame. Just witnessing such technology that we have today. It will be the same in like 1,000 years moving forward. The technology they will have, it will be the normal thing to them. And for us would be, wow, what is this? So it's the same. It's all about the reality we live on. And there's a nice thing that I was also wanting to talk, which is, most people don't want to face challenges because challenges tend to be tough times in which you face a big amount of stress, times in which you find as a dark place, a place of the unknown. It's something you don't understand. It seems there's no way to solve it, and you have a huge problem in front of you. You don't see a way out. A big difference on the people is that when most people try to run away from that, there's people that know because of their own experience and because they have big dreams. Those dark moments happen to them enough times for them to understand. It's on those moments at the darkest place that you never saw before that it seems like you are on a place just with walls, and the walls are closing out in your direction, and you're about to die, and there's no escape. Those moments are the ones in which, in some way, you manage to find a way out of the place, a solution, and an imaginable change occurs in you, in your life, and in your own achievements. So instead of trying to run away from this, you actually embrace these things to happen to you. Because you do know these big dark moments of tough times are the ones that will bring the biggest joy for you afterwards.